On CBS Sports HQ, Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts is in the concussion protocol, suffering that concussion in the loss to the Commanders on Sunday. Now, we're still waiting to hear what his official status will be for next week's game against the Cowboys. Here's Nick Sirianni at the podium. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, Jalen's in the concussion protocol. When stuff like that, when that happens, we just lean on the doctors to let us know on a daily basis of where he is. As far as Tanner goes, him and Kenny have been getting a lot of reps on scout team and in our developmental periods. I think both of them have done a really good job there and are continuing to develop.
I'll go to Chris and then Jeff McClain.
Afternoon, Nick. I saw you guys finish 3 of 16 on third downs. Was there a common thread that you noticed after watching the film of why it was inefficient on third down?
Yeah, a lot of different reasons go into it. Obviously, our goals are to be, well above that on third down, so we didn't hit our goals. I think we've been pretty good this past couple months of the season on our third downs after starting a little bit slow. But yesterday wasn't up to our standard. We were able to convert on 3 of 3 on fourth down, so we kind of look at it that way too with that. But we weren't good enough coaching. We weren't good enough playing there in our third down scenarios yesterday.
We'll go to Jeff McClain and then Jeff Nyberg.
Yeah, Nick, you said before that Jalen does a pretty good job of protecting himself, but would you have liked him to do a slide there?
Shoot, yeah, he always has done a good job of protecting himself and been dynamic, both as a passer and as a runner. Anytime something goes down and you lose one of your best players, you wish they'd do something else or not take that hit in that scenario. We always run runs that protect him, and we always want him to protect himself. Again, this is, unfortunately, this is an unfortunate part of football, the injuries that happen. Unfortunately, sometimes it's with head injuries, and you never want to see that because you always want what's best for your players and their well-being. And so yeah, obviously don't want them to take that hit.
We'll go to Jeff Nyberg and then Dave Zingaro.
Nick, you used the word sloppy a lot after the game. I'm wondering, after watching it back, what were some of your takeaways on a larger scale defensively that let you guys down yesterday?
Yeah, again, we a lot of different things. I think, when you talk about that too, like when you talk about it, it's never just, hey, this is defense, or hey, this is just offense, or hey, this is just special teams. Like, if you got to look at the big picture of it. We were unable to, in the second half on offense, put 4 field goals on the board, right? We finished one of those drives. It's a different scenario for the defense. Then you think about your kickoff coverage, and that wasn't up to our standard. And so we gave them really good field position multiple times. We gave them a short field on a turnover as an offense. And so all those things play into it. As far as, I'm always going to talk to you guys about and talk to our guys about, we had some missed tackles yesterday that gave up some extra yards. We weren't on the same page here and there. We gave them some free yards on penalties. So there was a lot of sloppy things, that we did have as a defense. But, everyone contributes to, those 36 points getting put on the board, like I said, with the offense and the special teams. This is a team sport, and it takes everybody. And just like we get excited about complimentary football when we take the ball away, then punch it in on offense or have a big return and do something good on offense, the same can be said when, it doesn't go your way as well.
We'll go to Dave and then Jason.
Hey, Nick, how do you go about game planning on offense this week without knowing who the quarterback's going to be? Do you almost have to have like 2 game plans ready?
There's different approaches that we take. With that, it depends on the skill set of guys and the different skill sets, and sometimes it's to give the player the things that he operates well at. Sometimes it's what you're going against the defense. So there's not. You obviously, just like you would when a wide receiver's out of the game or a defensive back's out of the game, you adjust. And this is no different. You adjust. There's a lot of similarities. There's little differences. But there are differences. But it's just something that you adjust to. And this is of the NFL. We've had a lot of experience doing this with, and that includes the quarterback.
But if I could follow up real quick, the quarterback obviously is a little different though than a receiver. Like, how much does that change?
What I'm saying, the way I answered,
there's a lot of similarities.
I'm sorry. Sorry, somebody jumped in. Sorry, Dave. Somebody just jumped in.
I think it was an echo.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. As far as, like I said to you, like what I'm saying is every position require what's bigger or what's smaller of an adjustment, right? You guys can debate that. But what I'm saying is every position that you are without a guy that's normally playing, there's an adjustment to be made. And quarterback's no different. So there'll be an adjustment that we have to go through. I'm not going to sit here and say this is how much adjustment, but every time that there's a player out, there is an adjustment to be made.
We'll go to Jason and then Tim. We'll go to Tim here.
Hey, Nick, did you get any further explanation as to why Gardner Johnson was ejected in that game? And on a larger point, when it comes to guys like him and Jalen Carter, who obviously play with a lot of fire, do you accept that there's going to be things like that come along with that style of play?
No further explanation there. Again, I'll always keep my conversations with the league to us in the league, but no, I haven't had any further conversations there. No, you never want to have penalties like that. Again, I always encourage our guys to be themselves, have fun when you're celebrating. Play how you play, but do it within the confines of the rules. And that's something I say to our guys all the time. And that's the same message here. Obviously, you don't want those situations. I love how much energy and fire those guys play with. But obviously, at no point do you want them to get a penalty, or is it acceptable to get a penalty? But again, like I said, you want there's a reason we have edge on defense. Is we have really good players who play with great passion and great fire, and that's huge. We just always got to understand and know to do it within the confines of the rules.
We'll go to Martin and then John.
Oh, hey, Nick. Yesterday, Kenny was saying after the game that he was going to get his ribs tested today. I was wondering if you had an update on that, and also, the value of having a guy like Kenny as a backup. Someone who started for 2 years in Pittsburgh, being able to come in cold like he did yesterday.
Yeah, no new update there, Martin. Kenny did some really good things there yesterday. Obviously, we missed Jalen. Jalen's a great football player who's had tremendous success and led us to a lot of victories. So we missed him and his contributions to the team and leading the team. But Kenny, under circumstances, came in and did a nice job. Played good football. Gave us a chance to win the football game. So, obviously he's going to want some plays back, but he did a lot of good things, and that's the nature of his position, that they have to be able to do those things without reps, because everyone knows that. I mean, they don't get a lot of reps there. Now we try to do as much as we possibly can as coaches, and we kind of thought about this too with going all the way back to Gardner, who wasn't with us in the preseason. We had to find ways, post-practice and pre-practice to get him meaningful reps, and we've tried to do the same thing with Kenny and Tanner, getting meaningful reps as developmental periods. So they have opportunities and chances to rep our plays, not just the scout team plays. So, but great job by Kenny doing everything he could do to help this team win yesterday. Played tough, made some big plays and made some big throws, and did a lot of good things.
If you're just joining us here on CBS Sports HQ, that is Nick Sirianni at the podium after the Eagles lost to the Commanders on Sunday. Jalen Hurts, he is in the concussion protocol because of that loss. So here is the NFC playoff picture after Sunday. The Eagles sitting at 12-3. They're currently still on top of the division. They've clinched a playoff berth, but did not clinch the division yet. It is still possible as far as Jalen Hurts and his status. Sirianni saying at this time they're leaning on doctors to let them know on a daily basis where he is at. Again, the Eagles face the Cowboys on Sunday.